This video is meant to be a guideline for the grouting of precision equipment. Use this to supplement training of your personnel on the proper techniques for grouting precision equipment. Always follow manufacturer's guidelines for each specified material.
This video covers the preparation, mixing, placement, and curing of cement-based grouts. Preparation. The first step is to ensure you have proper safety equipment. A hard hat, safety glasses, and dust mask are pretty standard, but check with your company's safety director for your specific requirements. Any loose material must be removed to get the proper bond to the concrete. This may be done by bushing the surface using a hammer and chisel or high-pressure water blasting. Be sure to remove all dust by brushing, blowing, or vacuuming the surface. For cement grouts, the surface should be pre-soaked with water. Make sure you pre-soak for as long as the grout manufacturer requires to get the best result. You can apply water by brush, flood the area, or use burlap. Covering the wet area with plastic will help prevent rapid drying. Just prior to grouting, remove all excess water. Failure to do this could affect the strength of the grout. Treat forms with a suitable form release when using cement-based grouts. Mixing. Prior to mixing, be sure to wet down all the equipment that you will use. Mixers, buckets, and wheelbarrows should be wet to keep the grout from drying out before you can get it to the form. Don't forget to dump the excess water out before adding the grout. You can use a drill motor and mixer to mix smaller amounts of grout. Just make sure the paddle is designed for cement materials. Measuring the water is critical. Make sure you use a marked container so that you will be consistent and accurate. The water requirements are usually printed on the bag or in the technical data sheet. Never exceed the maximum water allowed by the manufacturer. Add the water to the mixer while it is turning. Water should be added before the grout. Adding most of the water and holding some out usually helps the mixing action and reduces lumps. You can add the balance later in mixing. Break bags of grout into the mixer one at a time. Make sure the mixer is turning before you add the grout. The mixing process will be very dusty. You should avoid standing in this dust since it is an inhalation hazard. Just move to the other side. Each successive bag should go in a little slower so you don't bog down the mixer. Allow the grout to mix until it is uniform and free of lumps or dry material. Always mix for the time required by the manufacturer. Placement. Always pour the grout from one side to the other. This allows for all the air to be evacuated to give you the best possible support. You may need head pressure to move the grout where you need to get it. A traffic cone works great to add head pressure and to push the grout along. Pour the grout into the cone. Be sure to fill it well above the form or plate. The higher you fill, the more head pressure you can develop. Make sure the end of the cone doesn't block the flow of grout under the plate. If you are pumping the grout, make sure you wet the hopper and prime the hose first. Wetting the exterior of the pump will help in the cleanup. Smaller pumps can be primed with water or even a grout slurry. Add the grout to the hopper. Be sure to let the grout push the water or slurry out prior to putting the hose into the form. Fill the form with grout. For added fluid pressure, place the hose end under the plate.